Good evening, students. Myself, Amul sir. First of all, welcome to class 10th. And today we are going to introduce to our science part paper, science paper second. Okay, so you can see the cover page of your textbook. You can see there is pictures of evolution, wind energy. Okay, and some types of animals, digestive system, and one person which is slept in a road accident. Okay, first of all, I like to discuss the syllabus and the chapter wise weightage of the marks of the chapters. Okay, means which chapter contains more number of marks, which chapter is less important, and which chapter is more important. We will see one by one. Okay, so you can see the table here. There I have made three columns. In the first column you can see the list of the chapters. In the second column you can see the compulsory marks of that chapter, and in the third column you can see the marks with option. Okay, so the first chapter is hereditary and evolution. That chapter contains 3 marks, and with options it contains 5 marks. The second chapter is life processes part 1. That chapter contains 4 marks, and with options it gives 6 marks. Next, life processes in living organism part 2. It has 5 marks, and with option it gives 7 marks. Okay, there is a difference between part first and part second. Part first have 4 marks, part second has 5 marks. Okay, next, fourth chapter is environmental management. It has 5 marks, and with option it gives 7 marks. Next, fifth chapter is towards green energy. This chapter gives 4 marks, and with option it gives 6 marks. Next is animal classification. It's biggest chapter in the 10th part 2 paper. Okay, it has 4 marks, and with option it gives 6 mark. Next, introduction to microbiology. It has 4 marks, with option it gives 6 marks. 8th chapter is cell biology and biotechnology. It gives us 4 marks, with option it gives 6 marks. Next one is social health. It has 4 marks, with option it gives 6 marks. And the last chapter from the syllabus, so disaster management, it has 3 marks, and with option it gives 6 marks. So before starting the syllabus you must have to look according to the weightage of the marks. Okay, so first of all we will discuss with chapter first. The some this is just the introductory lecture. This is not concept clearing lecture. Just you have to know what is your syllabus, which terms are there, what we have to know, what we have to study, where we have to focus. Just we are going to see in this lecture. Okay, so the first chapter is heredity and evolution. In this chapter there are some terms. We are going to see that terms. Okay, so first is transcription. Okay, transcription. Second one is translation, and third one is translocation. We'll see one by one. Okay, you can see transfer of DNA to mRNA is known as transcription. Transfer of DNA to RNA is known as transcription. Next, conversion of in simple language. In your books it is given in complicated language, so I'm clearing it in simple language. Conversion of RNA to protein is known as translation, and translocation we'll see after that. Okay, ट्रांसलोकेशन इज द चेंज ऑफ लोकेशन. राइबोसोम्स का जो लोकेशन चेंज होता है उसको ट्रांसलोकेशन बोलते हैं. ठीक है, विल सी लेटर. नेक्स्ट, द कन्वर्जन ऑफ डीएनए टू आरएनए एंड आरएनए टू प्रोटीन. दिस होल प्रोसेस इज नोन एज सेंट्रल डोग्मा. ओके, दिस इज द की कंसेप्ट. नेक्स्ट, evolution. There are certain theories given for the evolution. We'll see detail in later. Next, there are evidences. There are 6 or 7 evidences that are given in your books that are morphological evidences, paleontological evidences. Okay, next, evidences regarding vestigial organs, connecting links, and all that. Okay, from that I thought some important I have written here: vestigial organs and connecting link. Vestigial organs which is not in use in the body, but that organ may be used in some other organisms. That is vestigial organ. For example, wisdom teeth is an example of vestigial organ. Coccyx is the vestigial organ. Okay, connecting link. Connecting links means connection between two classes. Suppose animal which connects annelida and arthropoda, that is connecting link. We will discuss later. Next there are two key concepts which are very important regarding this chapter. Either of these, there must be a question, either Darwin's theory or Lamarckism. These both theories are very important regarding the heredity and evolution. This is all about heredity and evolution. These are the key concepts, main theories of this chapter. Okay, next we are going to see the second chapter. Which terms are there? Life processes part 1. Okay, in the life processes part 1, there is process of respiration. Respiration has two types: cellular respiration and other type of respiration. Okay, so for there are three processes. First one is glycolysis, second one is Krebs cycle, and third one is ETS. Glycolysis is nothing but breakdown of glucose. Okay, in this process, formation of ATP is there. ATP, we all know that ATP is the ATP is the energy for the cells. It gives power to the cells. Next, glycolysis is the process which occur in the cytoplasm of the cell. Next, Krebs cycle. Krebs cycle starts from the pyruvic acid and then it converts into acetyl CoA. Then acetyl CoA is present in the mitochondria. Means Krebs cycle occur in the mitochondria of the cell. Krebs cycle also forms energy. Next step is ATS, means electron transport chain. It is also occurred in the mitochondria. It also gives ATPs. Okay, energy from different components. We all know that balanced diet for a person is very necessary. Balanced diet means the person have to eat all types of substances such as carbohydrate, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals, all the things. Okay, so in this chapter we have to see that carbohydrate, what is carbohydrate, sources of carbohydrate, and how much energy that gives 1 gram of carbohydrate. In the same way, proteins and fats. Okay, carbohydrates gives us 4 kilocalorie. 1 gram of carbohydrate gives us 4 kilocalorie energy. Proteins also gives us 4 kilocalorie energy. And third one, fats, they gives us 9 kilocalorie from 1 gram of fats. Okay, what are fats? All the oils, ghee, that gives fats. Okay, next important point from life processes part 1 is cell division. Cell division, it has two types: mitosis and meiosis. Okay, mitosis generally occurs in somatic cells and stem cells. Meiosis occurs in the germ cells. Mitosis is growth and used for growth and development, and meiosis for the reproduction. Next one, so mitosis is divided into 4 types. Okay, prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. Okay, meiosis is divided into 2 parts: meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. Meiosis 1 contains prophase. Prophase has 5 types. Okay, liptotin, zygotin, pachytin, diplotin, and dikinesis. And then metaphase, anaphase, telophase. And then meiosis part 2 has same phases like mitosis. Okay, so these are all about the life processes part 1. The next chapter is third chapter, that is life processes part 2. Okay, the life processes part 2. First of all, in this chapter we are seeing reproduction. Reproduction has 2 types: asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. What is the difference between asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction? Asexual reproduction is the reproduction which has require only single parent, and sexual reproduction it requires two parents. Okay, so first of all we'll see asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction has 6 or 7 types according to your books. First one is binary fission. Binary means bi. Okay, binary means bi. Bi means two. There is the organism is divided into two parts, that is binary fission, and from one organism there are two equal animals are formed. Next one is multiple fission. For multiple fission, the one organism gets divided into multiple copies. Next one is budding. Budding is it has unicellular organism as well as multicellular organisms. In unicellular organism, budding occurs in unicellular organism budding occurs in yeast, and in multicellular organism budding occurs in hydra. Okay. Next type is spore formation. Next, vegetative propagation. In vegetative propagation, plant can be developed from either from roots, stem, buds, leaves, etc. Okay. Next is regeneration. Regeneration means formation of a new organism from breakdown of an organism. The best example is planaria. Next one is sexual reproduction. According to syllabus, we have to see sexual reproduction in flowers as well as sexual reproduction in the human beings. Okay, in the flowers you have to see what are accessory whorls, what are essential whorls, what is androecium, gynoecium, what is calyx, corolla. Okay, these are the terms. When we will see the chapter, we will go through detail through the concepts. Next one is human reproduction. In human reproduction, we have to see male reproductive system, female reproductive system, the hormones that are used in the male reproductive system as well as female reproductive system, parts, which parts, what means functioning of the parts. Then in female reproduction system, we have to also study menstrual cycle. Next point is modern technologies. Modern technologies including surrogacy, IVF. IVF means in vitro fertilization. Next one is sperm banks. Okay, surrogacy. In surrogacy technique, it is used when women have problems regarding the pregnancy. In this process, gametes from the male and female are fused in a test tube. Then when zygote is formed, that zygote is inserted into a surrogate mother. Surrogate mother is a mother which develops that baby for 9 months, and after that she gives that baby to that couple. Okay. Next, IVF is the same technique like surrogacy. And sperm bank, it is sperm banks, it is like a blood bank. Those couple or those persons who have less sperm count, they can be used sperm banks. Okay. Next one is fourth chapter, that is environmental management. In this chapter, there are basic terms. It is a very general chapter regarding the syllabus. You can write general things and you can get good marks. Okay, very general terms: ecosystem, food chain, food web. You already studied these terms in the last year in the 9th standard. Okay, we all know that what is ecosystem. The the combination of biotic and abiotic factor, that is known as ecosystem. Food chain, we all know that what is food chain: producers, primary consumer, secondary consumer, tertiary consumer, apex consumer. Food webs, combination of made in food chains is known as food web. Also food web. So these are the things that we already know. Next point is factors affect environmental conservation. Which factors are affecting environmental conservation? There are some natural factors like earthquake, volcanoes, tornadoes, etc. That are the factors which are natural, that affect the environment. And next, artificial factors, which are man-made factors: pollution, many things we can write in the artificial factors. for the growth purpose we have destructed the forest. So many things we can write in this point. Next one is need for environmental conservation. It is also a general point. I will not explore it. You can write it in your own. There are some laws which are given for given in your book. So what is the punishment for breaking the law? We will discuss that. There is a Forest Conservation Act 1980. If we break that law, there is imprisonment of 15 days. Next one is Environmental Conservation Act 1986. If we violate this act, either we can get imprisonment up to 5 years or a fine of 1 lakh rupees. Next one is Wildlife Protection Act 1972. There are various norms regarding this law, so I haven't detailed written here. When we will discuss the chapter in detail, we will see the that act also. Okay. Next point is the story of a small man. In the book, they have given a story of a person of Assam. The name of that person is Jadon Molai. So he constructed a forest in a barren land. Uh, so the story is given here. Next one is biodiversity. There are 3 types of biodiversity: genetic diversity, species diversity, and ecosystem diversity. Genetic diversity occurs in the same species, means every human being is different from other human being in its genes. Okay, we all know that. Next one is species diversity. Species diversity means diversity in the different species have different diversity. For example, snake have different diversity, rat has different diversity, bat has different diversity, human have different diversity. In the same way, next one is ecosystem diversity. Diversity is in the different ecosystem. For example, grassland ecosystem have different diversity. Desert ecosystem have different diversity. Next one is ocean diversity. uh, so different ecosystem diversities are there. Next point is hotspots of biodiversity. Hotspot means not the hotspot of your mobile. Hotspot diversity means where biodiversity is in most number, but that is threatened by human beings. That is known as hotspots of biodiversity. There are 17 countries which are included in the hotspots of biodiversity. When we will discuss this chapter in detail, we will discuss about the hotspots of biodiversity. Next one is classification of threatened species. They have given 2 or 3 types of threatened species, like endangered species, extinct species, and rare species. Okay, we will discuss that later. And this was, I don't want to make a video bigger, so I have described or explained, introduced the first 4 chapters. Okay. Tell me if you like the video. If you like the video, we will continue to make the next chapters. And thank you very much for listening me patiently. Thank you.